Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good evening, folks. Once again, sorry, get that out of the way. We've got to have the promotional sign in the background, don't we? No one knows who we are. Anyway, how are we, guys? I don't know how Caz is doing with Sharon back there, but anyway, we'll find out if she pops a red in the screen in a minute.
No, guys, I need you to share out. I can only do 3 today. 3. I'm allowed 3 share outs. Thanks, but I'm still trying.
It just doesn't stop, does it? Neither does the renewable bullshit, guys. Now they've pushed it back to 2035, and they've got all these great ambitions about this and that, the other. And as I said, the Liberals are just sitting back closed-mouthed, and doing nothing. But we're seeing some good stuff out there, guys. Who ever thought that Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel would be actually sniped from the air in America due to their comments over our mate, Charlie? Very interesting, guys. People are losing jobs. People are this, that. And look, you know, we say, oh, you shouldn't dox. No. This is a spiritual war that we're in here. And my mum used to say, all's fair in love and war. All right. And I think we're starting to learn, people, that all is fair, right, in love and war. All right. Because that's what we have to try and intermingle here, is a war that we're in through no fault of our own. We didn't want to be in it. All right. But how we're supposed to fight it and how we're supposed to win it is with love. Very, very, very hard situation, guys. But that's where we are. Now we've got Honda blowing off the electric market, saying from a little article I read today that they can stick their electric vehicles up their asses. And, guys, we have some, you know, I keep an eye on this. You know, I'm an automotive engineer, so this really interests me. And I'm looking around out there, and man, there are some choice motors and designs out there and different things, you know, and even their electric idea, it's great, guys, but they should be using that as a regeneration system. You know, the way they've done it is just a big fob off, you know what I mean? Like, you know, anyone who's got any idea about engineering knows that it's just a stitch up, absolute stitch up. What's it all about? Well, controlling you, monitoring you, and doing anything they want to do to you. Share to 9 groups. Thanks, Caz. Legend, darling. Okay, so what's going on? So yeah, as I just said, you know,
That's what coming in.
the electric
I can't do
cars.
anymore.
No, you're right, mate. Yeah, I can't see you at the moment, Caz. I'm in another screen, but yeah, there's a thing going on. That we've had a system out here. It costs you $12,000 to pay for it, guys, with your Tesla. But that system, not everyone can use it, but it's a FSD. It's called a full driving system, and they're actually doing a test from Sydney to Melbourne. Now, I think they've already done one of these, but this is another one going out now because it's going to be coming on the market. So apart from Indian truck drivers everywhere, you're going to have people sitting back doing whatever they want to do while their car drives them down the road. So they hope they don't hit a black spot or anything else that may have interference to their electric vehicle that's taking pictures of them every 2 seconds, knowing how they drive, reporting that to your insurance company so they can hit you and slug you with the biggest premiums out. Because why? Because you got a heavy right foot. It's all coming our way, guys, isn't it? Hey? So anyway, Caz, how are you, darling? Your hair looks beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, thank you. I had my hair done today, everybody. All right. So you ready to get into the news? So yeah, we got heaps of news.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah. Darren's right here. He's said that there's digital deadline is the 10th of December. So go over and see Matilda TV because we may be only going out on that next, in the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we're having some wins though. Have a look at this one.
To have breached privacy laws in its use of facial recognition technology in stores across the country. Our national technology reporter, Ange Lavoie-Pierre, joins me now from Sydney. Ange, what did the Privacy Commissioner find?
So, Gemma, the Privacy Commissioner found that that Kmart's use of facial recognition technology in stores was indiscriminate, that it wasn't proportionate, and that it was done without consent. So this took place as part of a pilot over 2 years from mid-2020 to 2022, 28 stores around the country in every state and territory other than the Northern Territory and Tasmania, affecting tens or potentially even hundreds of thousands of customers, according to the Privacy Commissioner. So, yeah, Kmart has said that...
Now, that would, I'd imagine, apply to all of them.
Yep. It's got to go across the board. Yeah, not just Kmart. That's got to be all of these people using facial recognition on us, guys, that you never signed up for, man.
Yeah. No, that's good. Now we've got a little bit of there's some really strange things going on in the IT thing. Now, first of all, you've got this banana cake here. That one.
Time, facial age estimation, liveness tests, and other forms of age assurance will become normalized as well. Different people at different ages will have different levels of comfort with things like taking selfies or using biometrics or even digital ID. It really varies.
Unbelievable. She's actually just admitting it, and when we come to the comfort level, and she's heading to the US on the taxpayer dollar to meet with the social media and AI firms basically next week, and she's going to be giving them the itinerary. Now,
yep,
we've just
Albo's so proud about it all too, mate. Oh, leaders in the world, yeah, really.
Well, and it comes on the heel of this one as well, which is the look at this. So TikTok used former Albanese Deputy Sabina Hussick to lobby Communications Minister Annika Wells into rewriting the social media ban to include YouTube. Can you believe that?
Oh, look at this.
So that's how it came to be that YouTube was included in it. It was basically because it will help TikTok. And it's true. A lot of people will go to TikTok now, especially people who are teaching. You'll often, if a student doesn't understand something, you'll often pull up a YouTube clip so that you can actually, they can see the visuals of it. So now, they're going to be going to TikTok. Very, very fascinating.
No, YouTube is a very, very educational, it's got really good stuff on there and, really good stuff. Actually, I'm surprised at how much is on YouTube. I'm not a YouTube user or anything else like that, but man, I'll tell you what, there's some stuff on there, eh? Anything you want to know about engineering, cars, this, that, the other, man, you just YouTube it and you got it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. There's kids have started. I know a student personally who had to replace, I think it was an iPhone screen. So he looked up YouTube how to do it, bought the bit, bought the parts, and thought, this is so easy. So he's advertised himself as basically Mr. Fix It, Phone Fix It, or whatever it is, and is making a living out of basically following YouTube instructions on fixing phones. Yeah.
There you go.
That's exactly right. There you go.
They want to take everything. They want to take everything off us, mate. Everything that's useful to us, it's educational, that, you know, doesn't suit their narrative. Got to go.
That's right. One thing they do not want is the public to be informed by themselves. You see, when you actually educate yourself, you are a weapon. Education is one thing, but educating yourself, you're a weapon. Okay, so Here comes the Mr. Rennick on immigration. He has some very interesting things to say.
Hi guys, Jared Rennick, People First Party. I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to post a couple of links with this post that show the results of 2 opinion polls. The first link is from the ABC, talking about an opinion poll earlier this year that showed that 86% of people who live in Western Sydney think that the immigration rate is too high. Now, I find that absolutely staggering that even in Western Sydney, in suburbs with high migrant area, that so many people think that immigration is too high. I'm going to compare that to another poll taken last weekend that shows that Labor is leading the coalition by 58% to 42% on the 2-party preferred basis. Now, you've really got to ask yourself, how is it that Labor is so far in front when they are pushing a high immigration policy? And my only answer to that is that so many people think that the coalition has become too weak and insipid to actually implement policies that they claim they believe in. Unfortunately, however, though, many people who are abandoning the coalition aren't necessarily indicating One Nation on the polling questionnaire. So what happens is when these polls take place, there's only 4 parties that are suggested. 1 is the coalition, 2 is Labor, 3 the Greens, 4 One Nation. Many people are actually preferring to indicate their preference for Labor or the Greens over One Nation. Now, if we want to actually stop the leakage of votes from the Conservative parties...
Well, he goes on there. Look, the full clip's available on the website if you want to go and see that. But it's just it's just a breakdown of the numbers, you know, and it's at least pushing, the protests have at least pushed it into the narrative. And even Andrew Hastie has come out fighting, swinging today.
Lost hope of owning a home.
All right.
And if they can't build a home, it's very hard to start a family. Now, that might in part explain the collapse of our fertility rate to 1.5 births per woman, the lowest in our history. Yet Australia is growing rapidly, but it's not because we're having more children. So what's driving our growth? Well, the answer, Deputy Speaker, is net overseas migration, or the NOM. Now, historically, the 20-year average for the NOM from the years 2000 to 2019 was about 190,000 people per year. Yet post-COVID, net overseas migration has exploded. In 2023-24, the NOM was 446,000 people, the largest group, temporary students, with 207,000 arrivals. In the last 2 years, we've added nearly 1 million extra people to our population. Deputy Speaker, the Australian people are feeling the impact of Labor's immigration policy. Our infrastructure is under pressure, essential services from schools and hospitals are stretched thin, and Australians are locked out of the housing market. Many are house poor, spending most of their income on rent or mortgages. Now, Labor talk about a housing supply crisis, but this is a housing demand crisis driven by unsustainable immigration. It's that simple. And, Deputy Speaker, we must act. Net overseas migration must come down. Our first allegiance is to all Australian citizens and making sure they have a roof.
Yes, indeed. Making sure they have a roof over their head. And
why don't they get to the real point, but Caz? Like, here it is. Not to mention the infertility. Why? Because here it is again. It's the jibby jabs.
And it is so bad that I had my normie hairdresser. She actually said, she said to me today, she goes, I know people that have lost about 3 or 4 babies this year. She goes, I think it's the jabs. And I went, it is. It is.
I heard you had another personal phone call from someone in Melbourne, Caz, about the state of the hospital system.
It is that bad, apparently. Look, I'm being told that there were 60 people in the waiting room all day. A lady was sick and fell over on the floor, passed out, and there was nobody to attend her. They're having to treat people in the hallways, and then they can't even treat them for very long. They've got to move them on because they've got to bring somebody else in. Like, I'm told that it's that bad. So, guys, if anyone knows anybody who is in the medical system who wants to come on and tell us how bad it is, then please, we will do something to disguise their voice, you know, or we'll find a way of doing it so that they can do it as a whistleblower. But yeah, it's pretty horrendous.
And yeah, Milan, you're right, mate. They want to take our diesel and petrol cars. So yeah, when I rebuild the ute, mate, I think I'm going to go a stroke a crank. That takes us to what, 5.7 out to a 383. And then if I go oversized bores in there, I can get out to 454. And then I can really suck some juice with some big injectors. So I got my plan. Hope you guys have got yours out there because I ain't going electric.
Well, actually, I was going to do that because you said the petrol and diesel could to be phased out. So Albo is just a smashing success, isn't he? All right, let's just finish. Just finish up the immigration stuff. So you've also got now they decided the Indians have decided that they're Aboriginal.
Yeah, this is gold.
And how do we define that? As per the DNA evidence, approximately 141 generations, 4,000 years back, migration from India to Australia happened. And some Aboriginal Australians carry up to 11% of their ancestry from those migrants. The people and the community who were targeted particularly just because of the numbers of migration in this country, which is my community, the South Asian community or the Indian community in general, genes have been integrated in the very first people of this nation.
Oh my God, they know how to annoy us, don't they? And then they've got
They are
this.
insane.
Okay, so yeah, they've put up a thing. Happy birthday to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They've like with her. No, actually, I would actually beg to disagree because the Aboriginals have got all 7 strands of DNA. So it's actually, if you want to say that, what about perhaps maybe you migrated from here? So no, and either way you look at it, like the thing is, you've got people which our next clip is, which is Dr. Joanne Howe, who is an Indian, who has come here and integrated. The thing is, though, that this is not what's happening. We're being completely wiped out, and that's the problem we've got. We don't want our society to be wiped out because you guys are coming in at such a rate you can't integrate.
Yeah, and then we're going to find out the real story about history and where we did all come from and where it all went down, guys, because all we've been doing is lied all our life. That's it.
No, that's right. That's right. Look, Dr. Joanne Howe, she's just doing an amazing job trying to save these babies.
Should not be in government. Pass that bill. Pass that bill. Pass that bill. Pass that bill. If human life is not worth the fight, then what is? If we do not fight, if we do not stand in resistance to this horror, then who will?
Oh man, she's doing an amazing job.
She is. And look at the people she's starting to gather too. That's great, Caz. Is that in Sydney at Parliament House? Is that where she is?
No, that's in Adelaide. That was in Adelaide last night.
Okay, so where's she based at? Adelaide, is she?
I think she is based in Adelaide, but she's attacking the parliaments for 1 hour, like, you know, when they've got something that they need to pass or when they're trying to pass the bills. So yeah, she's doing an absolutely amazing job. She's fantastic. All right, now you got this thing about the cash. Have you seen this?
And I went to withdraw $8,500. The lady at the teller goes, "What's the purpose of your withdrawal?" I said, "I'm building." And she goes, "Okay, fine." She gave me my money and I go, "Next week I want to withdraw another $20,000 cash." And she goes, "Okay, you can place the order," because I know larger amounts of cash withdrawals you need to order in advance. And she goes, "Again, what's the purpose of your withdrawal?" I go, "I'm building." And she goes, okay, do you have invoices? I go, no, I don't have invoices because I haven't paid them, obviously, but I have quotes. And she goes, okay, make sure you bring your quotes. And I was like, okay, but what if I don't have quotes? And she goes, then you won't be able to withdraw your money. She basically said, you have to give us proof or a reason. I go, I've given you a reason. I'm building and I like to pay my tradies in cash. And she goes, yeah, that's not good enough. We need proof. I go, okay, hang on a minute. What if I just want to withdraw $10,000 to go to the casino tomorrow night and just have a great night, go to a fine dining restaurant, buy myself Louboutins and a Chanel bag and, you know, spend all my money, gamble it away. You know, I go, it's my money. I can do whatever I want. And then she looks at the lady next to her at the teller, and then that lady, you know, she steps in and she goes, we wouldn't be able to give you $10,000 if you were going to the casino. I go, why not? And she goes, there's a lot of scams out there and we just need to protect you from being reckless. I was just dumbfounded. I was like, excuse me? I go, it's my money. I can flush it down the toilet if I like. I go, so what's the limit? What's the maximum I can withdraw without proof and without invoices or whatever? And she goes, well, you can withdraw $2,000 at the ATM and $2,000 at a teller. So maximum $4,000 a day, no questions asked. Okay, so anything over $4,000, they need a reason. I go, well, I've given you a reason. I'm building. And she goes, yeah, but that large amount of money, $20,000, we're going to need invoices or quotes or proof. I was just, $20 grand. I go, what if I just want to buy a Rolex?
These guys give away billions and $500 million clunks, and they're worried about 20 grand coming out of someone's account. Like, you know, it's
and
just.
I'm sorry, but 20 grand these days is not a lot of money. It's not. No. Like, I mean, especially if you're building or doing anything at all, as a matter of fact. It's just, it's
20 grand's an average driveway going in a house, mate. You know, and if you're going to put excavation and everything on it and a few little hiccups, you know, and a couple of council permits and that, you know, you're well over that, you know. So, yeah, 20 grand is like jack shit.
Yeah, I know. Look, let's have a look at this. And then I'm going to plug Opinionated Black Woman again. So I think that this might be her husband putting these out. So let's have a look at it.
Yeah. Today I'm announcing our new Meat Misinformation Task Force, established to combat dangerous online content suggesting meat as a natural part of human diets. Our monitoring has detected alarming levels of nutrition misinformation, including claims that humans evolved as carnivores, that protein is essential for health, and that processed foods cause disease. Such dangerous content threatens our national security. The task force has already identified several high-risk groups spreading this information: farmers, doctors who haven't received our updated training, grandmothers sharing family recipes, and worst of all, people who claim to feel healthier after changing their diets without government approval. Our response will be comprehensive. First, we're implementing mandatory warning labels on all social media posts discussing nutrition without proper authorisations. Second, we're creating a national pre-bunking campaign to inoculate Australians against the seductive idea that traditional animal-based foods might be good for them. We've also established the new position of Nutrition Information Commissar, who will have the authority to correct your dinner conversations in real time through your smart devices. Remember, this is for your safety and your protection. The task force will use advanced surveillance techniques to identify meat-positive content, including monitoring grocery purchases, restaurant ordering patterns, and backyard gatherings that may involve unauthorised barbecues. Remember, nutrition is too important to be left to individual choice. As Chairman Mao wisely said, but in a completely different context that I'm definitely not endorsing, political power grows out of controlling the food supply. Wait, that's not the quote. No, we'll edit that out later. Look, like and follow to prove that you're not spreading nutritional disinformation.
All right. Now, look, we've plugged her before.
Again, not too far from the truth, guys. Not too far from the truth.
I know. Look, here's where you can go online. It's fantastic. They do everything themselves. So she does all of these kinds of food here. This meat. Delivers pretty much everywhere. I've been told that the food is unbelievable, and of course it would be because the animal's not suffering before it goes, and it's not that horrible halal stuff that they do. And then she's also got this one, which is the tallow, which is very much back in fashion now because it's so. Oops, did I? Yeah. Happy Moo as well. I've put both of them into the chat on the side there. I'll do that again, and I'll put it out under the with our notes as well. So yeah,
Willie you cannot eat roadkill without a permit from the government, son. Don't you understand, mate? We just showed you what Albo said, and here you are admitting to eating roadkill without a permit.
You're fine.
Come on, mate. Come on. Pick your game up, Willie.
Oh dear.
All right.
So,
like I say, it's not that far from the truth, guys. All right.
Well, it's heading. We're
coming at you.
Yeah, we are steaming towards the truth. That's that being the truth, you know. So anyway, but look, we got with Charles's visit, we got a lot of stuff that's going on with that. Now, first of all, let's have a look at this because you've got this one here, which is very strange. Now, Charles looks like the third wheel.
Eh?
Charles looks like the third wheel on a date, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Look, this has all been done before again. You know, this is with what I'm seeing over there, mate. Yeah, this is all part of the movie. You know what I mean? This is part of the takedown. So yeah, look, I don't know. Just bring it on. Just get an end to this thing so we can get our lives back. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's right. And then now there was lots of controversy over this carriage here, but I have to correct the record on this one. Okay, so everyone was saying that's the royal carriage. That's the royal carriage. It is the royal carriage, but it's for state visits. Okay, so each carriage is for a specific purpose. So that one is not for coronation, as there were some people saying. There are, however, some very interesting signs with this. Now, first of all, there's this one, which is on the back of, I don't know if you can see it, I can't enlarge it. So
back of the chair, 2017, yeah.
Yeah, 2017. So
from 16, what is it? From 1847, I think it is, guys, to 2017. Now, what happened in 2017?
That's right. Yeah, no, it's extremely interesting. Now, the other thing that's very interesting, of course, is this by Kirill. We've put his stuff out before, or we've talked about him before, but I'm wondering how big this operation is, because look at this. So Kirill Dmitriev, who is the envoy from Russia to the USA, has said Trump is more than a king. He is the daddy of the Western world. Now, that might be just a throwaway comment. However, Milo Yiannopoulos, who has announced that he's coming back because they killed Charlie Kirk, he retired. But in Trump's 2016 election, he drove the leftist press absolutely crazy because he used to call him Daddy Trump. Oh, you might refer to him as that. I call him Daddy Trump. And and they would just go bananas and they hated him for it. And then you've got Kirill coming out, and he has called him Daddy of the Western world as well. Now, Charlie has died, and now you've got Milo Yiannopoulos stepping back up. It's really, like there's a lot of stuff here. It's fascinating.
Yep. And for any of our new viewers that are maybe coming on, guys, in 2017 was a capitulation tour, as they called it, where Trump went and visited some people, and that's why that date of 2017 is, very significant.
Well, it is. And now there's this as well. Now, Grandpa picked up on this and I missed it. He says, I read this very carefully. So DJT and Melania have a wealth. So they've actually misspelled wreath to laying ceremony tomorrow, a wealth laying ceremony. So it's very strange.
Okay.
Some, like, you know, like you don't kind of make those kinds of mistakes. I don't think you do anyway. I mean, yeah. And then he's actually declared Antifa basically, he said that he's pleased to inform our many US patriots that I'm designating Antifa a sick and dangerous and radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization. Now, that initially you wouldn't agree with because, you know, they're just basically an organized protesting group. But when you tie it in, this is not my work, this is Channel 17's News Treason. When you tie it in with this, it says, do people understand what is about to be unleashed? Do people realize that RICO can go back as far as necessary? Think George Floyd, think anti-Trump rights, 2016, 2017, all of it. So so I'm assuming that under US law, that if he declares them terrorist organization, then there's no time frame. There's no, you know, what's it called when you've got when there's no time that you can go back as long as you like.
Yeah.
Statute of limits. Statute of limitations. There's no statute of limitations. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Now, the other thing that relates oddly to this is this bizarre thing here. I have been wondering what is going on with Ben Shapiro, who I don't really like. I find him really annoying, but he has stepped into the Charlie Kirk show after donating $1 million. And of course, it's right in front of your face, but it's not my work. I didn't think of it. Melissa Redpill from Freedom Force, she came up with it and she says it's a hostile takeover. This is how they do it. Eliminate the leader, swoop in with the dollars. So Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire donates $1 million. So very interesting.
Why wouldn't they do that when this morning, you know, we got the information? I don't know whether you know, Caz, but Charlie Kirk was offered to go to Israel. Was you know, like they know that they you know, you don't sort of knock these people back, you sort of do a little bit. So he went to Israel. He was offered something. He said no, and then he got a phone call from Netanyahu, and he was offered $150 million. All right, to change the narrative and leave Israel alone. 150 million, guys, and you didn't take it. I think that was 2 days before they shot him. So everything was well put in place. They tried to get him. They couldn't buy him, so they took him out.
Well, Israel's just doing everything that they can to annoy everyone at the moment because they've just said to the Christians who are living in Gaza, don't think you're going to own your property. We're coming in. Baby, we're coming in to take even yours. So, you know, just like... You've just got some really incredible things going on in this world at this moment in time. Now, Dave, I think that you need a medal because you have been telling people about this. Now, sunscreen is under investigation by Therapeutic Goods Administration. Summer looms. Oh, now why would that be? Okay. So if you listen here, let's have a look.
Day slogan for decades that many Australians have listened to.
Beyond the flags, yeah.
And SPF 50.
50, yeah, that's right.
But not all sunscreens are living up to their label. Consumer Group Choice tested 20 and found 16 products didn't meet SPF 50 claims.
So they're finally under investigation.
And it's nothing about the SS50 or the SB50 or anything else of the ratings, guys. It's what is in there. It goes into your skin, boils under your skin, and creates the cancers. Now, I was ridiculed, harassed, told it was child abuse. You know what I mean? Because I would take my kids to the beach and everyone else is sunscreening up, and I'm laughing at them going, guys, I shouldn't be laughing because you're damaging your kid. You wouldn't fucking have a... Yeah, really. 30 years, guys, I've been on that bandwagon. I've never put it near my children. The eldest one is 32, so I've been on it 32, 33, 34 years. I knew that this shit was no good for you. Why? I don't know. I don't know why, but I never put it near my kids, and I knew it was bad.
Well, we have some interesting options going on here. Now, who said AI was bad? So Albania's Prime Minister appoints an AI-generated minister to tackle corruption.
Oh, God.
I actually look, if AI is basically as good as you program it, if you give it paradigm, and you say, okay, find every single corrupt, define corruption as exactly what it is, it'll do a brilliant job.
Yeah.
So imagine this AI
Yeah.
doing this job. And now the news from overseas as well is this one here. So Greeks have been pushing back the boats off the islands.
That's the way you do it, Nike. Just do it. Just send them back out. Geez, I wish we could do that. Couple of remote control planes. I say hit the tarmac. We just spin them around, mate. Take them off the other way and send them back out. You know, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Well, that's it's but like things that there's lots of stuff that's happening which people are missing, and even I'm missing some of them. Now on the home front with relationship to China, you've got this one as well. So you've got the lithium. So $8 billion Aussie bloodbath is China's huge move. So what they've done is they're basically the mega mine in China makes about 8% of the global lithium supply and is likely to get an influx of lithium. So that's going to spell disaster to a lot of the companies over here. And then on top of that, you've also got this Aussie pilot, which is really, I want your opinion on this, because this is just absolutely crazy. So here he is. They found is an Australian pilot. Now, the cocaine was from Brazil. They were packaged in SpaceX brick blocks, but there's another thing to it as well. And what was that again? It came, I think the plane came from Chile. Anyway, yeah, very interesting. So, very interesting.
Is that the plane that went missing today from Bankstown, or is that a few days ago? I didn't even know about that one.
No, that's a few days ago. So we know that the CIA used to call the Cocaine Import Agency because they used to import it. Yeah. Okay, but this guy's an Australian guy who's flying a Chilean, I think it was Chile, registered in Chile plane. He crashed in Brazil and he had 200 kilograms of cocaine that had SpaceX bricks on it. But the thing is, what I don't understand is usually they keep these kinds of things quiet because then the drug cartels will know not to use SpaceX. Like obviously they've found a way of getting SpaceX. Yeah. They'll repackage them in another way, but they haven't. They've just basically put it all over the. It's just a very strange story.
Must have been good coke because he come down pretty hard. That's a joke, guys. Okay. Continue on.
All right. And we're having some wins as well on the vaccine front that are really unusual. And one of them is this, and it's this guy here. Now, this is the guy. Paul Thor's Danish researcher, whose work has been used for 2 decades to dismiss the link between vaccines and autism. And he has just been arrested for stealing $1 million from the CDC.
Beautiful. Now go and have a look at where he got the rest of his payments on to put that narrative out there and get paid for his papers by who? George Soros or Bill Gates or any of the other cronies that you'd like to mention?
Well, and I think that he might be, one has just also, and it might be him, I'll have to go and have a look, but one has just been found to have massive amounts of child porn on their computer as well. So very interesting. So we're living in really, it's like there's dual paradigms going on. It's like we're winning, we're losing, we're winning, we're losing, we're winning. It's just like it's a crazy time, but a lot of these stories are getting missed because the other news is somewhere else. And it seems to be just like that by design.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I wanted to bring in this one here, Derek Johnson. Somebody asked him, said to him, because he's actually called so many things so right, said, how do you see this ending? And he's had this response.
Would flip the world completely is where you have a finale, where you do walk out and you pull your mask off.
Yeah.
You have Joe Biden, you have Kamala, you have all these people walk out, and it looked like a general assembly where it's, a panoramic view. They're all on stage, or they bring them up one at a time, whatever.
That would be amazing.
With the emergency alert system. That way, it flips everybody's phones at one time. It flips everybody's computer at one time. It flips everybody's TV at one time. That way, a liberal, hardcore liberal, can't be sitting over there saying, "Oh, that's AI, that's fake," or a Republican doing that. If everybody's phones, is your phone doing that? What? Right. And then you're sitting in a bar, you're watching sports, you know, and Alabama's about to win the championship, and they're kicking a field goal, and the TV goes, yeah. You know, and it's all President Trump, you know, or whatever it is, you know, and they're like, what in the world, right? Well, then everybody sees it all at one time. And every walk of life might be in a bar and a restaurant, they're going, what are we watching? What, did you change that? Joe, turn the TV back. Like they're yelling at the bartender, turn that back. And they're like, I am, and it's not moving, you know? And then every channel is that, right? They flip the channel, and it's still the same thing. They flip the channel. You can see the channel changing, but it's still the same.
Well, leave it there.
Well, we can only hope that that's, yeah.
We hope.
Go on.
We hope. But I thought that
we can only hope. Yeah, sooner than later. Yeah, I want to see the final curtain, mate. If that's what's going on, I just want to see the final curtain. Take a bow, guys. Well done. Now let's get to business and let's start and get our countries back.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So, look, the tributes for Charlie Kirk continue. We're being taken out tonight by Dear Charlie by Tom McDonald. And so, Dave, if you would like to wrap up, and I shall close the show.
Okay, so a bit of controversy. A bit of controversy going on out there, guys, and I just feel the need to put a few things straight. All right, we got a lot of different people on X and that now, so there's heaps of shit going on out there. It's not going to be a bitch session about anyone. It's just going to be some facts and basics and some stuff that you people probably know, you know, wanting to know, you know, questions about what's going on with me at the moment, you know, on a few topics. So I'm willing to take the questions, guys. Obviously, we will control that. But yeah, I'm going to do a bit of a space tonight at 8:15. So if you want to get on in half an hour, guys, and jump onto the space on Twitter and
at Stop the Rot 7.
At Stop the Rot 7, that is, Guru, at Stop the Rot 7. Get on there and I'll let you know what's going on, guys, because I think you people really need to go. And as I say, this is no bitch session tonight. This is just some basic facts, all right, about, and hopefully some questions from you guys, all right? So I'll see you there. Haven't done one for a while, but yeah, hope you all turn up, or a few of you turn up anyway, and we can put a few things to bed. And we can maybe unwrap some things as well and get them out of bed. Who knows what we're doing? Okay, but we're going to have a chat. Okay, good night, people. Thank you.
Good night.
Shot down and he was barely 31. Another woke coward took a life with a gun. He left behind a wife and a daughter and a son. All he did was try to speak for all of us. And I'm so tired of the hatred and the narratives. The patriots ain't dangerous, woke people are the terrorists. They shot and killed the father, sent a message to Americans. They ain't gonna stop until they bury us. Dear Charlie, I don't know if you can see us now, but if heaven has a window, I sure hope you're looking down. Cause we ain't going quiet, we gon' scream your name loud. And you're gone, but I swear to God that we gon' make you proud. We ain't backing off or giving up, I'll preach what you taught me. They may have killed a soldier, but that man had an army. This is far more deep than some political parties. And you can't kill freedom, so this one is for Charlie. This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good man tried to keep making it great. Pray that God will take care of us, the system is failing us, but good men die for the things that they say. And I can't just be quiet, so I gotta be brave, cause this is America. Lately it's scaring us, but one good man can change it all in a day. Killed in cold blood for having a discussion, and liberals are celebrating murder like it's justice. You didn't kill a villain or the evil that it comes with. You killed a father and a husband. And I'm so tired of the left and all the wokery. We can't get along if you just kill us when we don't agree. Sniper rifle fire from a liberal that no one sees. Scared I might be next to die when I'm just buying groceries. Charlie, we'll make sure your children know that defending all our freedom is why you aren't coming home. I hope heaven has a window you can watch your children grow and hear your message echo from below. And we ain't backing off or giving up, I'll preach what you taught me. They may have killed a soldier, but that man had an army. This is far more deep than some political parties. And you can't kill freedom, so this one is for Charlie. This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good men try to keep making it great. Pray that God will take care of us, the system is failing us, when good men die for the things that they say. And I can't just be quiet, so I gotta be brave, cause this is America. Lately it's scaring us, but one good man can change it all in a day.